Hi, welcome back to Harmony with H. Today we have a message from Confused Girl 23 in Seattle. She comes to us saying that this afternoon her boyfriend, out of the blue M24, announced that his parents, who can come across sometimes a little bit religious and sometimes judgmental, are coming for a visit this weekend, meaning tomorrow, Friday afternoon. This will be enough to put anyone into the stressed out category. However, out of the blue also mentioned that his parents told him on Tuesday that they were coming. This caused additional strain into their relationship as Confused felt very frustrated and confused because why didn't he tell me? What? I'm so confused. Well, Confused Girl, thanks so much for your message. I totally get where you're coming from. And first up, I want to say that it makes absolute sense for you to feel confused and frustrated in this situation. I can't pretend to know your boyfriend's mind, but I am going to do my best to see if I can build a mutual platform for you to see a little bit closer into each other's point of views. I want to introduce you to the concept of perception and suggest some strategies for healthy expression of your emotions and solid tips for engaging in active listening as both a sender and receiver. Perception is the organization, identification, and interpretation of sensory information in order to represent and understand the information or environment. All perception involves nervous system signals and are relayed from physical or chemical sensations. Some tips and tricks to increase your perception are: learn to read your body language better. Body language is a nonverbal form of communication using gestures, facial expressions, and language signals about feelings, states of mind, and even sometimes intentions. A lot of information can be gathered just by looking at people closely and observing their behaviors. Thinking of looking at a stranger smiling or frowning, you can tell a lot. Be aware of your own biases. Biases are preconceived notions or tendencies to show favor towards or against something or someone. Many psychological biases exist. I'm just going to highlight a few from you now. Confirmation bias is being more perceptive to what you already think is true. I think, so it must be true. Hindsight bias, believing events were predictable after they happened. I knew it. Misinformation effect, your memories of an event being influenced by what happened. We call this sometimes a punctuation error. The events, the punctuation, the timeline of things is messed up, and we're influenced by what happened when. And the halo effect, allowing our initial impression of a person to influence our opinion. Work to understand your partner's point of view. What else maybe could have contributed to this situation? Maybe he was stressed out at work and totally spaced on telling you. Or maybe there's something else going on entirely and he's feeling also stressed about the situation. We mentioned his parents can be sometimes critical. Maybe he's feeling obligated and stressed out. Remember to have empathy towards your partner and towards yourself. When it's time to express your emotions and your needs, you mentioned feeling frustrated and confused, so you just suppressed all of your emotions back down. But it's very important to take the time to name your emotions before you talk about them and understand them yourself. If you're feeling mad or angry, Heitler in 2013 recommends giving yourself time to calm down. And if you are feeling angry, chances are it's a secondary emotion. It's time to chip away those layers of anger and to get out what's underneath, whether it's an insecurity, a fear, or a pain down below. What's really going on. Pick the right time to have this conversation, but make sure you don't wait too long. Lisita in 2013 also states that addressing problems as they arise rather than letting them fester helps us stay focused on one issue at a time, not letting us get all jumbled up, becoming a big "you are this" or "you are that" statement. When it's time, once you've arrived at the big moment, it's time to do the hard part. Share the emotions out loud. To avoid blame, use statements such as I feel sad, I feel frustrated, I feel confused, to own your feelings. Stating them directly can feel vulnerable, but it's important to begin this way, to begin the dialogue back and forth. Avoid accusations and opinions. Be careful that when you're really expressing is a feeling. If you start to say, I feel that, or I feel like, be careful what you're saying is not actually a feeling. It's a thought. You're attributing a value, a meaning to this variable that you're seeing. And that is something that comes later in the active part of the Communistar, which we'll get to later. Active listening is all about picking out the message. Listen to the message, not what you want to hear. Don't start judging the sender if you haven't gotten to the root of what they're saying. As a sender, be sure your messages are clear and concise and to the point. You don't want to beat around the bush or hedge. You want to be clear, and as a listener, make sure you're picking up on the pieces, not just the parts you're looking for, or what you're looking to either affirm or deny. Listen to the whole message. Then repeat back to them and what exactly you heard them say, and listen for that. Yeah, that's right, you got it. Active listening is all about doing. And so here I'm going to give you one huge practical tip for changing your mindset and your behaviors when dealing with these frustrating conversations about why didn't your boyfriend tell you that his parents were coming over on Tuesday and now it's Thursday afternoon? That's absolutely stressful. So let's have this conversation. Some communication experts use this method called the Communistar. This is a strategy that allows people to go through these hard conversations starting with the sense. I see, I hear, one of the 5 senses goes here, and then something that you noticed, either in your own behavior or in your partner's behavior. Then you can introduce your think. I think, I thought, this made me think. Fill in the blank. Connect those think thoughts to the variable. Then you're gonna go through your feelings. I feel, just like we talked about, label your soul word, put it right there. I feel sad, I feel confused, I feel frustrated when you tell me that your parents are coming tomorrow and you didn't tell me on Tuesday. Then you're gonna go into wants. I want you to tell me the next time when your parents are coming, when they tell you that they're coming to town. Very specific, very clear, but not judgmental, just clear lines of need. Then lastly, do. What can you, the sender, do for the partner to make it easier for them to meet those wants? I can help remind you that your parents need to check with us together first, or whatever the situation may be. It feels like I can do cleaning the house more frequently or something else. Then ask your partner to give that same wording back to you to check and clarify if your guys are understanding each other. Then your partner can do the same thing. This is a tool. It's not perfect by any means, but it's a tool that allows you to help break down these tough conversations that are attached to all of these different feelings and all these different thoughts and these variables that all compound upon each other and make it so hard to talk about. It's so important to take down those walls that we build up between each other. And this is one method of doing it. We want to approach these conversations with openness and curiosity, and that will allow us to not blame each other for the inevitable problems that come up. Life is messy. Let's get messy, dig up the anger, get into our perceptions, figure out what we are thinking, learn how to label our feelings and express them openly, and be an active listener, both a sender of clear messages and a receiver, an open feedback listener. And using these strategies, including the Communistar, which allows us to break down these tough messages and be open-minded people as we figure out how to handle our boyfriend's parents and any other relationship problem you might be having. I'm Harmony with H. Thanks for joining us today, Confused Girl in Seattle. I hope this helps. And to all you listeners out there, thanks for joining us today. See you next time.